Skai Jackson has filed a restraining order against her boyfriend, Yerky or Turkey Lurkey, I don't know, something like that. Apparently this man has done several heinous things to her, several different kinds of domestic violence, including one incident where he tried to force her to drink bleach in order to get rid of their child. Now, as somebody who grew up as the quiet, cute little goody girl and then went and married the bad boy who also wound up doing bad things to her. As we're having these discussions about Keke Palmer and Halle Bailey and Skai Jackson, we often look at them with the men that they decided to have kids with, and we're like, why would you choose that dude? I'm going to tell you why. At least in my case, I wanted to shake things up in my life. It gets boring being the good girl all the time. People have this preconceived idea about the type of person you are. And you want to be like, I'm not like that. And I can't even imagine being a Disney or Nickelodeon star and everybody thinks you're just this perfect little squeaky clean child and you want to show them that, hey, I'm grown. So that could be one reason why sometimes good girls pick not so good boys. Another reason is, and I don't think this is the case, at least not for Halle, but it was what happened with me. You don't really have women in your life who can steer you in the right direction. You don't have an auntie, a bestie, an older sister who is saying, these things are red flags. Your standards should be high. These are the things that you look out for. So you go out into the world and you make poor decisions, not necessarily because you want to, but because you quite literally don't know any better. When I met my abusive ex-husband, there was no TikTok. And people were not talking about this shit out on the open on Facebook. There was barely any information about it on Google. So a lot of the things that I experienced with him, I had no clue were bad, were red flags. And then I grew up surrounded by women who were constantly saying relationships are work. Everybody goes through hard times. And as somebody who grew up Christian, I'm not now, but constantly being told that it's about sacrifice and who told you that you were supposed to be happy. Y'all, some of y'all might know what I'm talking about. And nobody wants to stay together anymore. And it's the woman's job to keep the marriage together. And we also forget that a lot of these no good, ashy lipped, no knee having dudes target good girls. Because in this weird way, there's this underlying idea that this angel of a woman is going to redeem me in some way. I'm a good person by proxy to her. Also, they target these good girls because something my ex-husband used to always say when we first met, you're so innocent. You're so innocent. That wasn't a compliment. That was him telling me, you're so easy to manipulate and take advantage of. I hit the jackpot. And people tell me all the time that they hate my content. They're so tired of people talking about dating and relationships and red flags and why can't people be positive? Well, these horrible ass relationships are why we need people making content like mine. Because if you constantly talk about the good stuff, as in my situation, you're going to think just that everything is good. Everything is okay. If there is a red flag, it must be something you're doing wrong. It's another reason why men try to isolate young women from older women. They try to say we're crazy and bitter. Because if these young women listen to us and they actually take heed to what we're telling them, they're going to be hip to the tricks and the manipulation and the lying-ass schemes of a lot of these dudes. So I want to close this video by telling whoever might be watching my content, If you're in a relationship and something feels wrong, it probably is. If you are trying to Google and TikTok and YouTube and search, is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? Should I be concerned? You most definitely should be. If you are asking the internets if you should break up, you probably should. If you are always frustrated and crying, if you are being physically or even mentally harmed, because that is also abuse, get out of that situation as safely as you possibly can. You do not need him. He needs you to try to make him look better, to try to not make people think that he is the criminal that he fucking is. Also, if you have not already, don't have kids with this person, okay? Because you will be stuck to this person for the rest of your life, and they will always have a way to you through that child, and it's going to be a fucking nightmare. Do not marry these people. Do not move in with these people. If you do marry them, which I highly do not recommend, get a prenup. Always protect yourself and put yourself first. If there are people in your life who love and care about you that you trust, and they're telling you, hey, this situation doesn't look too hot, I need you to listen to them. Also, it is not your fault, nor is it your job to try to heal a grown-ass man who is not your own actual child that you birthed or adopted.